DNVR Broncos live, coming to you from Studio X, where the X stands for 10. As in, the Broncos added around 10-ish players to the practice squad.
Okay, well that fell off.
I don't know. I feel like that was pretty good.
Well, it started really well, and then you didn't actually have anywhere to go with it.
Well, I wasn't confident in the number because I haven't counted
What do you
the
think it
guys
is?
in the practice squad.
There's a set definitive number right
15.
now. Nope.
X
as in wrong.
When you said right now, it threw me off.
Okay, yeah.
So right now it's 10.
No, X. Wrong.
I love that he came in here and was like, yeah, you guys couldn't do it without me. And then we start off.
Look at that entertainment that we just started the show with.
That's true. We need somebody who doesn't know how many people are on the practice
But
squad.
Yes,
you also
could you drag the screen down to the bottom left corner?
we
There
could definitely do
go.
this.
Oh,
without
now it's
him
behind the
right now.
camera.
Yeah.
No, that just made our show better.
We're also about fact checking here, Ryan.
Well, I
Henry
can't see
doesn't
myself.
Oh my goodness.
I
Henry
know what
can't
I
really
look like.
see in general.
That's actually true. I was driving home last night, so I was riding the ride here. I was like, okay, well, it's Jimmy John's. It closes at 9. I got to get in there like 8:45. I'll leave here like 8:30. Whew. I got lucky making it all the way back.
Just that you could drive.
It's crazy. Because like usually it's like, okay, I'm on the interstate. It's whatever. But then it's the one down by kind of by Coors. It's like, oh, there's like people everywhere. I was like, I need to lock in right now. Otherwise, I might run somebody over.
Wait, so does this have to do with your vision or with getting to Jimmy John's before it closed?
A little of both.
The lack of vision almost prevented him from getting to Jimmy John's that time.
And then you get to the end and it's like, I got to find a parking spot. But really, I need to be looking at the people trying to cross the road and the cars and things. It was a wild ride.
You need to be on the driving
like
practice squad.
Yes.
Okay, so how many is it?
13.
Oh.
Yep. So 3 spots for someone. Maybe holding one for Seth Williams.
So there are 10 right now.
Oh, yes, there's at least 10.
X plus, was that the number?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the 3 spots left
Yep.
for could be anyone.
Could be anyone. Could be one of us.
Could be one of us. Like I tweeted
As
out
you were
earlier
throwing
this
our
morning.
names out there.
I mean,
Wow.
that was what I like to call cherry-picked stat. Very cherry-picked stat.
If they had to sign one of us to the practice squad, which of us would provide the most? It's a little twist on the how many Zach's question.
Okay, so you got to start here. Which one of us has like one skill that could like basically one of us is gonna have to learn to kick or punt?
Or long snap.
Oh, I
Can
feel like
any
I'd
of
be
us
a good
long
long
snap?
snapper.
Feels like it or you are.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried, but
See-
I feel like I could be.
Maybe we need a
Can
long
you
snapping
long snap?
contest. I feel like I'd be good at it.
Oh, you feel
you've
like
never done it? Man, Henry, you may be...
I feel like at least with me, they would be like, well, he's got a nice wide base.
But one
They'd
thing
be
they
into
like...
your base.
But then you also have to be the first one down there to catch the ball. Like Bobenmoyer.
How much do you think Jacob Bobenmoyer would beat all of us in a race? Or would he?
I think I got him.
If you got him, then the difference between like it can't be that big of a difference. You
Is
know?
Zach fast?
We know that he has what's the word I'm looking for? Stamina.
Right.
He's stamina.
Yep.
But on punt team, that just doesn't help.
No.
No, it doesn't. And can you touch the long snapper now?
Not while they're snapping it.
But then right after?
Yes.
See, I think that's where I lose this. Is I think I'm down pretty much right after.
I don't think they'd have any interest in touching you, though.
You don't think so?
I mean, like, you're not really a
What are
threat.
you saying about me?
It's not about you being attractive or unattractive. It's about you being a threat or not. And you're
They're
not
just
a threat.
like, he's not going to make the tackle.
Oh, right.
Exactly. Like, let him go.
Oh, this is good. Okay. So let's start there. Who is the practice squad?
Do the Broncos have the best practice squad in the NFL? Let's go through some names
Wow.
right now.
That's a tough question.
Josh Johnson.
Okay, got to be up there.
He's
in
gotta be
terms
up
of,
there.
practice
Age.
squad quarterback.
Yes,
Yeah.
and age. They brought back McTelvin Ajim.
Nice.
He'd be up there.
Yes.
What do you know? Everyone they wanted back was back. Everyone can stop panicking.
Natani Muti, another name that a lot of people panicked about.
Yep.
That's another one who should be right up there with the best practice squad guards.
Should be.
Think about this is a beautiful thing about the NFL, not to derail, but the fact that fans are like beside themselves over the 54th best player on the roster not making it is so cool. Like think about this is like Nuggets fans being like, "Oh my god, like I just don't know if we're going to be able to get that guy to the Rapid City or the Grand Rapids
Right.
Gold."
Yeah.
Right,
Like
right.
just like that last guy on the Grand Rapids Gold, we can't afford to lose him. It's crazy. NFL fans are crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is
is.
really cool. And none of these guys are probably going to have you win or lose a game.
Nope.
And people still care about them.
Except for maybe Josh Johnson.
Maybe. We'll talk about him in just a second. So the rest of the guys, Kendall Hinton.
There
Hall
you
of
go.
Famer. That was probably the one that fans were attached to the most.
Probably
Yep.
attached to you. Yep.
First Hall of Famer on a practice squad. Gotta be.
Exactly. Jaquan McMillan, they got him. Fayon Hicks, they were able to keep all of their draft picks on the team. Kanai Mauga, yes, thank you. Divine Ozigbo, Jonathan Harris, Quinn Bailey, Darius Shepard, and Jonathan Conklin.
Wow, you got those last few out pretty quick.
Thank you, thank you.
Really quick, one thing that's not on the practice squad, on the full 53, our presenting sponsor, DraftKings.
Hey.
No one reminded me in the comments today. Come on, guys, I need your
I'm
help.
slacking in there.
And make sure to use code DNVR over at the top rated DraftKings Sportsbook.
Boom.
Yes.
Great deals when you do so.
Yep.
Okay, so we got the practice squad set.
Got the presenting sponsor.
Got the presenting sponsor. We
got the
three
three of
extra
us.
spots, which could be for all three of us.
That could
Wow. I wonder if that's the plan.
be. That would shut us up.
It certainly
That's
would.
what they
They're
want.
sick of hearing us talk.
Jared is the one who reminded you yesterday. Today he said, "I thought you had it today, RK."
Maybe I did, and we just all forgot again.
That could be.
No, I just went back and listened, and you did not do it.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, research from the production
Oh,
team.
Production team is
jeez.
dialed
Stepping
today.
it up.
We also have a monitor again, so we can see your
Love
comments,
it.
which
I
is
know.
great.
Love it. Who's our practice squad?
Like DNVR's
Yeah,
practice squad?
if we
Jake.
get plucked to be on their practice squad, who's filling in?
Well, I would say like the DNVR Broncos practice squad would be like if all three of us got injured, who would step in? So it's
Right.
like Andre is
Exactly.
definitely
Andre.
on it.
Jake,
Jake.
Yep.
Justin,
Other Ryan.
Justin.
Justin.
yeah.
RG.
Other
Oh,
Ryan,
RG.
yeah.
RG would.
Wait, so our practice squad is bigger than our real squad?
Spencer.
It is
Yes.
Spencer, Eric.
Our practice squad is actually really deep.
Some of them are actually just backups, though. Like, there's some that are, you know.
Right.
So it's like you have those next
RG is
three and
definitely
then.
on the roster. Like he's been on enough
Yeah.
times to say like he's a roster.
Well, Andre for sure is.
He
Andre,
should
huh?
be. He's trying to work his way off it. He hasn't been out here in a year.
I was gonna say, when's the last time Andre was on?
I think I did a show with him a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both
So he
of
showed
you.
up for camp.
Usually they're memorable. Memorable, not rememberable.
Rememberable. Okay. Speaking of memorable, it's time to discuss the injuries. And if you remember, I am out on anyone who doesn't practice in training camp. That worries me a lot. Some of these guys slowly snuck their way on. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I'm caught in between a rock and a hard place because it's like I have to stick true to who I am. If you don't go to training camp, I don't trust you to play. But did Billy Turner go to training camp?
Nope.
Didn't he?
Wait, what do you
Didn't he
mean?
get a couple practices in? You know what I mean? Like,
Was there one? I think there was one. They didn't
snuck
do everything.
They snuck them all in at the very end, so I can't say that.
It's like a
I don't-
half practice.
I actually don't think it was training camp either. I think that was the preseason practices.
Okay.
That could be.
Okay, so let's
So there was
what's
kind
the
of some
update?
in between with Billy there, and there was some in between with Billy today as well. So when we talk about the side field in practice, we're talking about guys. It means guys are injured. They're either wearing pads, but definitely not practicing. They're not even wearing pads. They're doing some conditioning work.
Can I
It's
tie
like-
in one quick funny
Yes,
thing? The
yes.
first time I ever went to a Broncos training camp practice, not like as media, like when I was younger, I saw there was people on that side field. I was like, oh, that's the practice squad. Just thought they had to practice off on their own.
And it would make sense. They get like half a field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so there were some guys over there. Billy was not over there. Then there's guys on the normal field doing the normal practice.
Yep.
And then there's literally 20 yards in between the two.
Green belt.
Yes, exactly. A green belt where you walk in between both of them.
Yep.
Billy Turner was by himself there.
We call that Elway Alley.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
No, and just like that, because that's where he stands.
He does
between
like
the two
stand there.
fields.
No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about even a third field, the practice field.
Yes.
Yes, which is
Oh, and you're talking about the one in between the second practice field and the
There's
third
like
field?
the big thing that stands up in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That they
Okay.
never use.
so it's not even a
So it's not
field.
Elway Alley.
No, it's not Elway. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's not Elway Alley. It's just this extra space, and it's literally between the practice field or the side field
Yep.
and the normal field, and that's where he was. And so I don't really know. It's this great middle ground of
Yeah.
kind of where Billy Turner's at, and he was physically there today. And we don't know because before practice, Nathaniel Hackett said, yep, Billy Turner's going to practice today. Well, he said that before, and then Billy Turner hasn't practiced. And so today it was kind of this in-between, and we don't get to watch the full practice anymore now, so we don't know how much he participated. So to me, until he's fully on the field and he's a full participant day in and day out, I'm just not confident in it. And next week we'll get the full injury report, and I just expect him to be limited every day next week. And of course, this is speculation, but I would say right now, he's not going to play.
Would you rather have limited Billy Turner, meaning like his
Yes.
the first time he practices is Wednesday?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, then I think he plays.
I think so too. And it is close. It is close. The tiebreaker for me is that this feels like a Nathaniel Hackett way to handle things. You know, in the same way that like you don't play the starters at all in the preseason. It's like, yeah, could Randy Gregory be out there? Probably. We're not worried about it until a week or two before the season. We'll work him in then. Like, I think with all of these guys, they always say, like, there's no rush. We want to give them their time to get back. There's really no rush with Nathaniel Hackett.
Exactly. And I think George Payton has bought into that as well because George Payton said that Greg Dulcich could probably be back in a week or two, meaning he could even potentially play week 1, but they just want to be very conservative with him. And they've mentioned multiple times now how they're playing for week 16, 17, 18 now in the season, not week 1. Nathaniel Hackett mentioned that again today. George Payton even alluded to the Packers last year struggling in week 1. They got blown out by the New Orleans Saints, but then they went on a 9-game streak. And George Payton's kind of has that in the back of his mind of it's not about week 1. So I actually think even unless he's like full go the next 3 days or the next week, I still don't think, even if he's practicing, that they're gonna put him out there. They're gonna be conservative. They're gonna take the long route.
I feel like there's two different scenarios happening here. There's the Greg Dulcich scenario where they're like, okay, he's hurt and we don't necessarily need him. And then there's the Billy Turner scenario, which is like, he's hurt and we really need him.
Right,
Yep.
right.
So it's like Dulcich, you're like, yeah, we'll see you when we see you. With Billy, it's like, we're just gonna keep crossing our fingers and hope that he feels better by week 1. And I do think what's gonna happen is they slowly work to him. The last practice, so I guess it'll be Friday. They'll practice on Friday that
Saturday.
week. Okay,
Since
all right,
it's
Saturday.
Monday night.
They'll practice on Saturday. I bet you we hear like Billy Turner was a full participant in the Saturday practice, or maybe even Friday, and then they play.
I even think where it stands right now, if he's a full participant every day next week, he still doesn't play.
Oh wow,
Wow.
you couldn't be further apart on this.
Yeah, and I see your reasoning, and I think it makes a lot of sense. They need Billy Turner a lot
Desperation
more than they need
is my
Greg.
reasoning.
Yes, no, and that makes sense. I just think with everything they've done, they're going to be conservative and say, if we drop game 1 because we don't have Billy Turner, that's better than not having him for the final month of the season.
Which
Yeah.
is true. That is true. But at the same time, I don't know, we're playing for the end of the season sounds really good until you remember they've been a couple games out of the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
And you can't let many go to waste before then either.
Especially
Yeah.
against Seattle.
And these
Oh,
are
I
the
know.
right.
You got to
Yeah.
win that game. That's one that you'll definitely want back come week 17.
Yeah.
These are the conversations that we'll never be privy to. Like, no conversations are held closer to the vest than these ones, which is like, are they saying we can beat the Seahawks without Billy Turner?
Yep.
And we'll never know.
And are they? Or what would you think?
I think they're saying the number one way we lose the Seahawks is if our offensive line can't protect.
I agree, and that's the number one way we can ruin our number one investment.
Yes.
Is with now Russell Wilson of anyone should be able to handle a weak offensive line. He's done it for years out in Seattle. But you still don't want him to be facing that because the Seahawks know how to pressure him better than anyone. The Seahawks know how to get him down better than anyone. Doesn't mean they're going to be able to do it, but they'll know the best way to do that. And that's just not something. I asked Nathaniel Hackett about it today. Where does the right tackle position stand? Because Cam Fleming was the right tackle this past game. Calvin Anderson at left tackle.
Yep.
And he didn't really say, but I think they're thinking a little more about Cam Fleming. Mm-hmm. And that scares me because Cam Fleming, guys, was the 5th option at right tackle for the Broncos this year. The 5th option. And so Calvin Anderson, maybe the 3rd option, 2nd option. But now that the 5th option's getting those reps, shows me how far Calvin Anderson's come down.
The good news, though, is that the Seahawks are going to be running out Uchenna Nwosu and Darrell Taylor as their starters, probably. Maybe Boye Mafe. Again,
Darrell Taylor sounds like he was dope in the 80s.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. But it's like, hey, Billy Turner should be able to stop any of those guys. Cam Fleming should be able to win some and lose some, which isn't what you want in that matchup, but it might be what you have to take.
Well, and it means that you're just going to have to rely on Nathaniel Hackett and Justin Outen to put Eric Tomlinson out there on the right side, to put Eric Saubert, to protect, to do more things to give that right side help.
And if I were to guess, I would guess that the Seahawks are going to play contain on Russ. And so it's not necessarily going to be sacks that you have to worry about as much as it is like holding, not allowing it to collapse in on him and just like forcing him to throw it away or, whatever, rush his passes. But I don't think you have to worry about like one-on-one, full-on bull rush, pass rush style stuff in most of the game. The teams that have success against Russell Wilson have a spy ready for him when he tries to run through the front of the pocket or, inside the tackles.
And it might be most important in the running game, especially because I think the passing game, if you get a league average passing game week 1, I guess maybe you want a little bit better than that because you're playing the Seahawks. But if you finish just outside the top 10 with your passing stats in week 1, I think that's a pretty solid performance. Got new system, new coaches, no Tim Patrick, you right tackle, whatever. I think you got to lean on the running game in this one. And if you can't run to the strong side of your line, that could be an issue.
It really is. It really is scary. All right, what other injury updates do we have?
All right, well, we have some other ones. One that popped up today was Albert O.
Oh, for the Lord.
He's now on the side field. Not the half side field. He was on the full side field. And don't know why. But remember, Albert O didn't play in this past preseason game when he was supposed to. In fact, you thought you drafted him because you thought he was going to play in the game.
I was lied to.
You were lied to. Yes, we lied to you. And maybe we were lied to about why he wasn't playing in the game. Maybe there was an injury before that game that's now holding him out today. Shaking your head.
No more, this happened. John Elway had such a bad habit of this, which is drafting guys with injury issues and hoping they just went away. And it's just like the list of guys who this happens with is mind-blowing. And it's mostly John Elway guys, going all the way back to KJ Hamler, Albert Okwuegbunam, going back to Jake Butt. It's just like, so many of these guys. It's just like, you can't have a roster with this many of these guys on it because then you start to plan things and then you lose them. And it's annoying because you can get away with one of these. You can take a flyer in the 6th round on one of these guys. But I think that John Elway as a GM was just like, I can have unlimited of these flyers because they're late round draft picks. Like, what do you have to worry about? The problem is you put those guys on your roster and then you start planning to have them and then you continue to lose them.
Yeah, and at tight end, you mentioned Jake Butt earlier. Now Albert O, what's his status going to be? Greg Dulcich, we know he's out for the first 4 weeks of the season. So you're going to be leaning on potentially Eric Saubert and Eric Tomlinson.
Baby.
Boy, wouldn't that be a terrible break for me?
Man, some pizza restaurant around here is going to know Zach's name soon.
I know.
Hey, but speaking of Billy Turner, maybe he doesn't play and I win that bet.
That's true. That would be big for you.
Maybe they sign a veteran quarterback to back up Russ and it gets me out of that one, Henry.
Yeah, I'd be surprised. The
fact that it didn't happen today, I think you're looking good on that.
I would be curious to know what the exact language of that bet was. Like, is it who wins the number 2 job?
I think it was who would be the backup.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would still be worried if I were Henry.
I really like. Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I like that.
I'm
pulling for Brett, but hey, if it can get me out of a pizza bet.
Yeah, your career, a pizza, one or the other.
Speaking of pizza bets and things like that, let's go to our favorite segment. Let's go. Formal apologies. Can I? The one thing I don't want to know is, so yesterday I said I have a vision in my head for how Zach learned that the Broncos didn't offer Sam Martin a pay cut, and it was that you received a text that was like, "Hey, I was just watching the show. RK's right, and you're wrong about this."
How'd you know? No.
I don't want to know the real story. That's the story in my head.
Well, you can keep it that way, but I mean, what a crazy way for me to have to apologize to you. I mean, I'm the one that ends up
Breaking the
saying
news.
that I'm wrong about it. So, Ryan, I apologize.
Oh, God.
You were right.
Great segment. Great segment.
Is that segment done now?
That is done.
Good.
We can get back to injury updates.
And something that you have to keep an eye out when we're talking injuries is the DNVR Bars injury is over. It's all fixed up, and we open officially. Grand opening, September 9th.
I had to go under the knife.
Oh, yeah, it did. I mean, a lot of knives,
Yeah.
a lot of drills. It was being destroyed, but now it's pretty much there. And also, you can come by this Friday for a little CU Buffs action, then Saturday morning to watch the CSU Rams. The bar is almost back. And this next week, this next month, this football season is going to be the place to be to watch the Broncos and to be at the new bar. It's so cool.
Yes, you've got 3 chances to see it before the grand opening. This Friday for the Buffs, this Saturday morning for the Rams, and next Thursday for the NFL kickoff. Then the grand opening on Friday. Again, as I said yesterday, if you're coming to one, come to that one. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and Jared saying the DNVR bar got scoped. Nothing to see here, folks. No, it went under.
It was a reconstructive surgery.
Yeah, it was big time. We're talking about so much new stuff. That means there's a lot to
Pins,
see here.
screws.
And you want to be here to see it all.
Yes.
And speaking of seeing, there's a lot of things to see when you're here.
And speaking of seeing, you can see a lot of things if you go to Gametime.
There we go.
You can see a lot of sports. I'm going to the Buffs game on Friday. Still don't have tickets. Going with Dre and just the women in his life. And we are going to get up there and buy some last minute tickets from Gametime. I actually got the notification today. Let's see.
Don't tell Ryan how cheap they are.
The problem is I clicked on it, so the notification isn't there. But it sent me the notification saying the tickets for that game have dropped. I think it was 18% in the last 4 days. They're going to keep dropping.
They will.
They're going to keep dropping.
So that doesn't hurt your heart?
No, it's going to be a huge crowd.
Okay.
It will be.
Yeah.
Remember, how do they get those Game Time tickets? I'm going to show it on the screen.
By going to Gametime through our app. I mean, through our link. Damn it.
There you go.
Yeah. If you
So
just
we're
go...
watching it right now.
Yep. Just go down into the description here in the YouTube where you are, and you'll be able to click on the link, go through there, and then that way they know that we sent you, which is a good thing for us right now. So we really appreciate that.
Tickets as low as $110 right now for that home opener against the Texans.
That's pretty cheap.
That's what it said, right?
Oh, for the Broncos.
Yeah,
I was saying CU tickets for because they're playing TCU, which is the Texas team, for 110. Oh my goodness!
Oh, look, we have some flash.
Wow.
I mean,
Flash deals.
Look,
$235.
look how swoop this is too.
This
It's
is
a great
$235
interface.
For level 131.
That's like my favorite.
$235 for level 131, row 38 on Game Time.
That is legitimately. Wait, let me see it.
2 people.
Oh yeah, that's the best place you can sit in the entire stadium.
There we go for 235.
Yep,
I love it.
I'll take that. Like if I have to choose, I'll take that spot. 30 is like the perfect row too.
Not too close, not too far.
Yep, get to see exactly how long. Huh?
Here's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing.
there it is. Like you can watch maybe you go a little higher, but that's a great spot.
Yeah, that is pretty good. And Jose saying multiple women for Dre. Damn, he was talking about his wife and his daughter.
Yeah.
Henry made this seem
Henry
like.
That's my... Apparently, Lucia's really excited to see the Buffalo.
Oh, let's go.
I thought you were gonna say to see you.
I don't think Lucia could even be more excited than me. Like I don't think it's possible.
Really?
Yeah, and she's like a little girl who loves animals. Like that's her thing.
Oh, yeah, she really does. Dre says she knows
I
everything.
think I've got her
And
beat.
you're even more excited.
Yep, I've got her beat.
To go see Ralphie
Yep.
6, Ralphie 5. 6.
Ralphie 6.
I'm
6.
so excited to see how much
AKA
she's grown.
Ember.
Ember.
Is this her debut?
No.
No,
Last year.
last year was her debut,
But
but
she was a baby. No, she's gonna be like
bigger and
probably
stronger
normal
now.
sized.
okay. So yeah, use Game Time through that link. It's actually sick.
How about Sports Fan?
And Sports Fan, which obviously hosts our tailgates, and we love them for that. But one of my favorite things is like when you go to our tailgate, you go into Sports Fan if you have to use the restroom, and you just get to see all of the awesome stuff in there. Like every time I go, I end up just making a lap and being like, wow, there's stuff here that you just don't see at like the team store or anything like that. We actually have some sweet stuff that they gave us to display here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she brought the whole box.
That's a big
actually.
box.
Let's do it. This is how we're gonna do it. Just start handing me.
Oh, wow.
Unboxing. I love it.
Just start handing me stuff. This is stuff that you can only
Oh,
get.
baby.
Sheesh.
Broncos,
Wait,
but baseball.
Turn it around.
They're actually really smart.
That's dope.
Because they gave us all this in like medium and large, or else I would have just stole it all. Like, yeah, sorry, the box never came.
Oh, we don't get to keep it? I might take it.
Oh,
they-
some Super Bowl 50
Super Bowl
shorts.
50 shorts.
Damn,
This
these
is
are really
sick.
cool
Those
things.
are good shorts.
Again, stuff that you just don't see like
No.
in normal stores, like a blackout that has my name written all over it. If it wasn't a large, then there's like the
Blackout
more. This one's really sick too. A little baseball jersey with the Super Bowl 50 patch on there.
Yeah.
And then this is probably my favorite. Like if I had these.
Wait. Why is that your favorite? It's a little lighter blue than you would have wanted.
Well, yeah, because it has the old school D. I mean, you can't get both of those yet. Super Bowl 32.
See, that's the color I'm talking about.
Which is
for
weird
these
Exactly.
new uniforms.
That's
They
a
weren't
sharp
wearing
color.
these uniforms for Super Bowl 32, but we don't have to talk about that.
No, we don't.
These are sick. I would wear these every day.
Yep.
That blue is so much better than that blue.
It's
Then
a good
the dark
blue.
blue you're
It's
talking
just-
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
agree.
uniform blue.
I
It's
agree.
just
new
Yep,
uniform
yep,
blue.
Yep. Hank and I are on the same team there.
Yeah, if you like losing.
Wow.
It's just the official blue of losing Super Bowls.
That's not how that works.
You're living in the past, Ryan.
Just telling you.
Oh,
like,
You got to be creative. You got to be forward thinking,
God.
as our guy Damani Leach said.
John
Yeah.
Elway didn't run out on the field, look
You're
down, see
trying
what
to
color
be-
the blue
Right,
was, and say like,
exactly.
"Oh, I guess I'm going to lose this one."
Exactly.
You're trying to be backward thinking. I'm trying to be forward thinking. I'm
No,
molding.
what? You're the one talking about how you can't do the backward thing because it hurts you.
No, you're trying to live in the past. I'm trying to live in the future.
What's the future?
You're saying you
The
want
combination of the D and the navy blue. That is.
Isn't
the
that the
future.
past?
No, it's a whole new. It's a combination that's never been
The
used
D
before.
has been used. That's the past.
The same. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we need the D. We do. It's the only thing that represents Denver about the Broncos.
And if you want to get the old school D, go to Sports Fan.
Yes, exactly.
That is
Get
true.
it all. All right. Another big injury update. Randy Gregory is fully cleared to practice, and he was out there today as a regular participant. So some good news on that front.
A huge human.
Oh, my gosh.
Every
He's so
time I
good.
see him, I'm just like, that guy is so big.
The Seahawks offensive line's got to be scared hearing that news.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. What?
Poor Gino.
Oh, there you go. Navy blue brought championships. Put respect on the name.
Somebody finally agreed with Ryan, so Allie clicks on it.
Yeah, why not? Did we not get Jared's comment on the screen
I
already?
know.
Hank and Numbies are correct with their colors. Thank you. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I asked.
Just
Okay.
because you're not paying attention doesn't mean I'm not doing
Behind the
it. Come
camera
on
because
now.
Ryan made it there.
All right. Randy Gregory. That's huge. That's huge.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be so good. I know that there's
Hank's
like the
actually the
injury
number
things.
one Randy Gregory believer.
The man's a freak. Well, and the other thing is like again, I'm in my NFL podcast phase, and we're not gonna name names, but just when everybody talks
No
about
free
it, it's like all these nerds, and they're just like, yeah, you know, all these pressure stats, all these, Randy Gregory should be so much better. And it's like I know he's so good. You just need to convert to sacks, and I think that it there's no reason it wouldn't happen.
Well, the reason it wouldn't happen is it hasn't happened, and
Well, there's that.
when you have 4 seasons in the league so far, and you don't have more than 6 sacks in a season, that's the reason to be scared. That's the reason to be skeptical of it, and that's a reason why I don't love the Malik Reed trade. Is Baron Browning has stepped up into that backup role. But the Broncos don't just need one backup. The Broncos are foolish if they think that Bradley Chubb and Randy Gregory are going to play an entire year and play 17 games. There could be a point, and I'm touching wood, but just being realistic, there could absolutely be a point where you're missing both of those guys. And then so you're turning to Baron Browning. Wouldn't it be nice to have Malik Reed there? Now, I understand Broncos saved $2.5 million, but wait, I thought it wasn't about cap savings, what
Should
George
be.
Payton told us yesterday. And so it was about upgrading a 7th to a 6th. For a guy that it can absolutely step in and rush the passer effectively, I don't love that.
Yeah, to me, it was one of those things where it's just like, he's not really in our plans. We like our depth enough. We'll just take what we can get rather than not playing him and then not paying him.
You lose Jonathan Cooper if you don't make that move.
That's fine. Jonathan Cooper has done nothing this
hasn't.
offseason. He hasn't
This
been.
offseason, yeah.
He hasn't been in the Broncos' plans, and I love what Jonathan Cooper did last year. But this new regime came in and said,
They don't like him.
Yeah, we don't like you. They kept Aaron Patrick for special teams purposes, but he's an outside linebacker spot. I just personally would have rather had Malik Reed.
I definitely would. I mean, in the sense of the trade, you would definitely rather have Malik Reed than the 6th. I just don't hate the move because I get it. And
Yeah.
it was about cap space.
I've been pro trade Malik Reed since before camp, so I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, you would wish you'd got a little more value out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about just the 6th back?
Right.
been nice.
Yeah, the swap is weird.
Yeah. But in terms of Randy Gregory, I fully expect him to be out there week 1.
Yep, me too. I'd be surprised if he isn't.
All right. Is that the last injury update?
We got 2 quick ones. Tyree Cleveland back today. Now, he's probably not going to have an impact as a wide receiver, but special teams, oh my gosh, we know how much they love him. He hasn't practiced for a month, and they still kept him on the team to be a special teams player.
I want to see one team just be like, this guy is just a special teams guy. Like, he doesn't even practice with the wide receivers.
So, like
What would he
Jacob
do?
Buckmeyer.
Yeah, exactly. He just hangs out
Yeah.
with those guys.
Yeah.
But like he just stand there.
Yeah, he just like all Brandon McManus and now Corliss Waitman do is just play catch for 75% of practice.
So
you
it's-
might as well have him like run a route instead of
No,
play
I
catch.
agree. I want to see a team be like, oh, like what position does he play? Special teams.
It's like he's too valuable
Yes.
on special teams
Yes.
to risk
Oh,
running
wow.
the 7th
Wow.
wide receiver route.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
That's essentially what they've done with Tyreek Cleveland, which is just crazy. Now, obviously, he is practicing with the wide receivers. It's not that extreme, but that is just how much they love him. On top of the fact that Nathaniel Hackett publicly called him out when he got injured for not knowing the stuff on offense.
Yep.
And then so that just shows you how much not only Dwayne Stukes loves him, but how much of a voice Dwayne Stukes had.
And I think I said this in an earlier pod. I think in the first year with all your new coaches, you're a new coach, they're new coaches, you give them a couple. You know, you get a couple free passes. And I think Dwayne Stukes totally used his on Tyree Cleveland and Corliss Waitman. And
Aaron Patrick.
And I think, like, essentially, you get it right. Those guys go and ball for you special teams. You get your cards back next year.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you're out. You know, you lose
agree.
trust.
Yep, completely agree. And then one more, KJ Hamler. He is all good after the game, after practicing. Do you expect him to be full go week 1?
We didn't even get, like, he's a little sore.
Nothing,
Thank
which is
God.
great. Yep.
Thank God. He's a little sore is code for it did not go to plan.
What we got was he's fearless. And we
Oh.
certainly saw that.
Yes, we did. I was fearful when he took that
Yes,
hit.
yes, me too. So who's the most important of all of these players we've talked about?
To me, it's really, really easy.
I think so too.
Billy Turner.
Yep. I completely agree.
I think it has to be. I think like the defense is going to be good. The defense is going to be just fine at the very least against the Seahawks. The offense, like it's new. It'd be nice to just have your best line.
I look at it this way, and this is a very, I don't know, like a Madden or something way of looking at it. Like, if for whatever reason Randy Gregory couldn't play, which it doesn't sound like it's happening, I would be like, oh, sick, like more Baron Browning snaps. No one is saying like, oh, sick, more Calvin Anderson
Right.
snaps.
No,
Yeah.
certainly not. If they were playing the Chiefs, I would really think long and hard about Randy Gregory. Or if they
Totally.
were playing the Chargers, or if they were playing a team with a really good quarterback that you wanted to and felt like you had to get pressure
Gotta heat 'em
after.
up, yeah.
Geno Smith, guys, I mean, Bradley Chubb can take this game off. Baron Browning can take this game off. The Broncos should be able to beat the Seahawks without Randy Gregory. And it's going to be great that they have him. But what they have to do is protect Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Big time. And what I think will happen is it's not, we think about things a lot of times in black and white when it comes to football. In coach, I'm sure coaches hate it. So like what happens is it's not really like Calvin Anderson has to hold up. It's more they have to give him help.
Right.
And that's what like coaches hate is, okay, well, now we got to keep someone in. Like Eric Tomlinson has to play a lot more than we want him to because we got to keep someone in on that side to help Calvin Anderson because we don't trust him. Because I don't think, especially with the franchise quarterback, you're willing to take the risks of, we'll just see what happens with Calvin out there. Like you're like, okay, well, we're taking someone out of the route, you know.
Mm-hmm. You know what I just saw when you were talking about that situation? All I could see was a push pizza bet. Calvin Anderson at right tackle with Eric Tomlinson next to
him. No one likes a pizza push, but we did make a rule. If that happens, it's not all pizzas are off. It's
one and one.
Each of us have to go and buy each other a pizza.
Okay, there we go.
We eat it together.
Good. Who's number 2? Is it Randy Gregory? For week 1 specifically, not just like who's the best player on the team. Is it KJ Hamler, Tyree Cleveland, Albert O?
Albert O.
Really?
Yeah. Because without him, you have no dynamics in the passing game with your tight end.
And I got to say, Eric Albert, the first week, 2 weeks maybe of training camp, was the best receiving tight end. He was all over the field. He was maybe one of the most productive receivers on the field. He's done nothing about the past month or the past couple of weeks.
He did have some nice catches in the preseason.
How many, though?
I don't know, 4 to 6.
4 to 6 with, obviously not with Russell Wilson. I just think he's fallen off in terms of that. So I do see your case for Alberto there.
And I hope Henry's totally right about Randy Gregory. I'm in big question mark mode until I see it on the field. Whereas like I know what Albert is compared to those other guys, which is an actual mismatch. Eric Tomlinson, I guess he's a size mismatch, but that really doesn't apply much in the passing game.
Hey, he got 2 passes this past week.
He did. He looked great. He did have a chance to maybe like score a touchdown if he didn't just run right into a guy.
Yeah.
And then, Eric Saubert is just your ultimate run-of-the-mill, like,
solid at everything.
70 overall in Madden.
Yeah. 70 run blocker.
I don't even think that's
catcher.
probably what he gets in Madden. I'm sure
I think
he's
he was
like
under
66 or something.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do anything for me. Like, if that's the case and you don't have Alberto week 1, I'm just like, okay, well, there goes your entire production from the tight end group in the passing game. So maybe you're coming out in 2 tight end sets and you're just like running heavily and going off of play action, max protecting when you come off of play action. Jerry and Cortland are out there running routes. I don't hate it, but it completely takes away your ability to match up and cause problems from the tight end position.
It's fair.
At the same time, if you don't have Billy Turner, you're worried about running the football. If you plug Alberto in right next to Calvin Anderson, all of a sudden you're just running the other way. And so there's a part of me that thinks like, yeah, this is, I am curious how much Alberto is even going to be on the field if he is healthy. You know, it's a little bit different without Dulcich, but I think there's at least as many plays without him as there are with him. And because of that, I think that not having him is probably not that big of a loss at this point. A loss, but not a massive loss.
When Greg Dulcich was drafted, what was your hype meter, your Greg Dulcich hype meter at?
It was not very high, personally.
So,
I remember
5?
Yeah,
6?
Yeah, sure.
You? A little
I'll
higher?
go 6.5.
Okay.
I saw what he did to Colorado.
Yeah, I think I was at 6. And I think the next day I watched some film, I got up to 7.
Yeah.
I'm at a 0.
It's fair. It's fair that this is a guy who tried to come back from a hamstring injury and tweaked it again, and he hasn't been able to practice. And when a rookie's not able to practice for pretty much the entire training camp, that sets them back so much more than a veteran.
And tight ends already struggle early on. You know, there's so much that they have to be able to do. Like, there's a good chance.
We had to pound that drum, I don't know, a million times about Noah Fant.
Like, when Greg Dulcich plays his first game, do you think he's significantly better blocker than Alberto, about the same? What do you think?
About
a little bit better.
Yeah,
I right there, probably right in between you, like maybe a little bit better. And then on top of that, as a receiver, it's like, is he like what really is he? We haven't seen anything. Like, he hasn't gone against NFL defenses. He hasn't tried to separate from Pat Surtain all camp, K'Wan Williams all camp. So I I don't know. I'm nervous about that one.
Alberto should absolutely be a better receiver than Greg Dulcich this year with the setback that Greg Dulcich has had on top of being a rookie.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's, again, you don't practice. I'm just like, what can I possibly expect from you?
Yep.
Then you're a rookie.
At tight end.
It's like he didn't even get the luxury of like feeling the speed of the game in the preseason or, against the Cowboys in joint practice. Like, I guess I can put my hype meter at a 1 because of that one touchdown he scored in the one day that he practiced, which was a really nice play by him to sit down while while the flow was going against it. But it's a shame. He was the one I thought they kind of seemed most excited about when they picked him.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Certainly Nathaniel Hackett.
And I guess let's finish this segment there. Who is now the most the rookie they're most excited about?
Montrell?
Number 1 in the rookie draft that we did.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's Montrell.
Pretty crazy.
Yep.
Credit to Montrell more than anything because, I think I owe him a formal apology. Because you can bring up the graphic, Allie. Formal apology to, usually these are going to go to each other, but this one goes to Montrell Washington.
Well, we need the sorry over Ryan's head for this one.
No, that's permanently on
Oh,
you.
no.
I vastly underestimated him from an offensive perspective. I remember people asking, like, hey, is this KJ Hamler insurance? And I was like, no, it's purely a returner. And he's more than that. So I'm sorry. Sorry, Montrell.
This formal apology isn't coming from me. It's coming from the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
They had no idea that he was going to be such a dynamic receiver year one. They drafted him purely to be a returner. They've even admitted that over this past month. And just so you're right, it is just all a credit to Montrell.
And as for rookie hype, there was an opportunity for one player to grab a ton of hype from me. I mean, I would have been bouncing off the walls excited for this guy.
On pins and needles.
But Nick Bonito didn't change his number to 11.
No, he did not.
What
Josh
is
Johnson
going
kept on to that.
How?
Yeah. He wants a long snapper number.
So hurt by this.
He had a chance to be double ones, which would have looked really cool as a pass rusher, but instead he's stuck with a long snapper.
I wonder if he could even take it from Josh Johnson, though.
He could have.
Josh was gone.
During that period, he wasn't on the team.
I guess that's true.
I could see George Payton being like, hey, look, we're bringing him back tomorrow. Don't take his number.
But from what you said earlier about, or didn't he say he didn't care what number he had?
Yes.
So he probably never had to go to George Payton or Nathaniel Hackett or the equipment staff and say, I want it.
Yep.
It sucks so much. I tagged him in a tweet. I told everyone to re-tag him in the comments of my tweet, and a bunch of people did. So I know he saw it yesterday.
Yeah, and Micah Parsons, number 11, as Dr. Van Nostrand said.
Do this 42.
Maybe he just wants to be the best 42 pass rusher in the NFL.
I hope I'm wrong about this, but I will remember this moment.
Oh, you will.
When
If
Nick Bonito is playing for another team.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yikes. That is tough. But what's not tough is getting $200 in free bets over at DraftKings Sportsbook by placing a $5 bet on any NFL team. Win or lose, doesn't matter. You get $200 free in your account, and there's no better time to sign up and get 8 $25 free bets in your account than right now, because you'll get 8 $25 bets to use on any NFL game, any college game. We've got a full slate of college ball coming up this weekend. Got a full slate of NFL ball the following weekend. I can't wait, and there's no better way to enjoy football being back than over at DraftKings Sportsbook. So head to the App Store now, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use promo code DNVR when you sign up to get this offer. That's promo code DNVR over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
You said no better way to enjoy the return of football than with DraftKings Sportsbook, which I agree with, but it pairs so well with Mile High City Sliders, who we are going to have at tailgates this year. And if you haven't come to one yet, you got to come to week 2 against the Texans. In fact, get your tickets. They're already selling. Like I said, there's a special member price, which you can get via the DNVR website. So go to there. And it's going to be so great to have these Mile High City Sliders. They have the jalapeno popper one, Zach.
Jalapeno popper?
The jalapeno popper, which is fantastic. I also love the drunken meatball, which is chicken sausage, feta cheese, marinara sauce. It is so good. And like I said the other day, sliders are the perfect tailgate food. So perfect, especially for our tailgate where like it's not like my parents for the Buffs game have like a pretty bougie tailgate. Like they make like fancy food and like stuff that you might want to like sit down and use a knife and fork for. But like our tailgate is like a let's drink and play bags and beer pong and all that. You're just trying to stand up. So you get your little boat, you get your sliders, you eat them. Delicious. And you can have Mile High City sliders at your event when you call 720-375-3464. The perfect food truck food, the perfect tailgate food. Ask for Dominic when you call our friends at Mile High City Sliders.
There we go. And Jose may be pointing out a reason for you not to like the number 11, Ryan. Bradley Van Pelt's number was 11.
I love a number that a Ram fails in.
Oh. Wow.
You could twist 11 however you want.
Yes, I can. Also, 11 is my personal favorite number.
Oh, wow.
11.
So that makes it
yeah.
me like even more tied to this.
Yeah, there you go.
And now it's just wasting away on the practice squad.
You know what? I was feeling so confident about Buffs plus 13 this week because being here. And then I go out to Broncos, and everyone there is saying, oh, I smashed TCU minus 13. It's the easiest line ever.
Classic Denver media just like piling on the Buffs. So, whoa, this sucks. I bet D-Mac was in on that.
Actually, no, he wasn't there. It was actually a bunch of out-of-state, like they work here, but are from out of state.
Classic out-of-staters.
Yeah.
These transplants,
Yeah.
man. They come in here.
They don't know exactly how bad CU is. They're not that bad.
All I know, Friday night under the lights, home dog. I like that across college football.
Plus 380.
I don't even plus 400 now.
Plus 400.
It keeps climbing.
It's the same as the Rapids to win tonight on the road in Nashville, which is kind of shocking because the Rapids are like a fringe playoff team, and so is Nashville. But they suck on the road.
And they're
really
plus
bad.
like that
Plus
much?
400 to win.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, I took the draw, which was plus 300.
Okay, there you
Best
go. Wow.
bet in sports.
I love it. Great
Draw in
bet.
soccer.
The worst bet. And
No.
maybe it's statistically the best bet. That is the worst bet you could do.
Think about
Every
this,
soccer
though.
game ties.
I know, but you can't be cheering for a tie in sports.
What's fun about this is when nothing is happening, you're winning.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
Like the beginning of the game, like it's probably not going to end in a 0-0 tie. But beginning of the game when they're just kicking it around, no one's
Yeah.
doing anything, you're
Yeah.
like, wow, this is great for my bet.
Yeah.
Especially in soccer where it's just like half the time they stand there. Like
Yeah, I
it
was
was like
gonna
standing
say.
there with the ball. It's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
just stand there. Keep
Yeah.
standing there.
I'm not going to stand for soccer slander because
Okay.
I love the U.S. national team. I cannot wait for the World Cup.
Can you name me a couple players?
Yeah. What? Yeah, Aronson, he's sick.
First name or last
Christian
name?
Pulisic, he's sick.
Okay, you got one full name.
There's
Anyways, big U.S. national fan.
The women's national team is amazing. So
Yeah,
shout
no,
out to them.
that
I could
is
probably
for sure.
name more of them.
Yeah.
I said two.
You,
One and a half.
Aronson.
I think it's Brian Aronson? Feels right. Anyone?
Aronson could be wrong for all I know.
Either way,
it's definitely
yeah,
Aronson.
he could have just rolled off 17 names, and Hank, you and I would have had no.
Yeah, I know. He
pushback.
just had to be confident.
Yeah. Aronson plays for Leeds United.
Is it Aronson
Wow.
or Harrison?
Aronson.
Okay, seems like you're kind of hedging there.
No one in the comments. No one's here to help me out.
No soccer slander in front of this guy.
All right.
Oh, I was so close. Brian Aronson. That's my guy right there.
Oh yeah,
Oh, boy.
clearly.
No, I'm a Christian Pulisic guy.
Big
Wow.
time. Yeah.
Hot take.
Huge. I know. I
I'm
like
a big
the,
Tom Brady
I
guy.
like the under the radar kind of guys.
I have some strong feelings towards LeBron.
I do have some strong feelings.
Yeah,
for
That's
probably
true.
negative feelings.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, did we get everything we need here?
Yeah, speaking of our guys and gals, should we hop into the comment section?
Let's do it. Do we have any super chats?
First one coming in on the website from Dohoy says, third time trying to comment thanks to RK explaining how to do it. Glad to finally be a member, which everyone should be. Coming home from my opener from Salt Lake City, which will be my first Broncos game and NFL game. Already got my bus and tailgate tickets. Can't frickin' wait. Just wondering what players we might add after the rest of the league cuts down to 53. Also, what position group do you think will be the surprise of the season? Sorry it was such a long comment. The next one will be shorter. Thanks for the content. Well, we love it. We gotcha, and welcome to the fam. And I guess something we didn't talk about, Broncos didn't claim anyone. And none of the players that the Broncos cut were claimed as well.
Yep.
Yeah. The question's a little outdated.
Yeah, it is. So the Broncos will not add anyone from someone else. And we talk about this every year, but then other people kind of blow it out of proportion and say, oh my gosh, everyone's going to take every Broncos receiver that they cut. No, everyone wants to keep their own guys for the most part. That's why 13 or more of the guys on the Broncos practice squad are going to be the guys that were on their team. Wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being all 16 guys that were on that are on their practice squad were on their team before, and the Broncos didn't claim anyone.
There were 33 waiver claims, so about one a team.
And the Broncos were not one of them.
Yep.
The Bears were all over it. They got everyone.
They have no players.
They get 7?
They're terrible.
Yeah, they claimed 7 players. Well, they were awarded 7 players.
That is huge. And we actually did just get a super chat coming in from Cody W. Says, now you got a super chat.
Let's go.
Love
That's
it, Cody.
Super. Next one is from Bronco Oilers. New uniform take. I like reading Bronco Oilers comments because he's like really dialed in on grammar. It makes it really easy to read.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. Leach said that they want to be forward-thinking while missed a hyphen there, while honoring our history and acknowledging that we've won 3 Super Bowls with this current jersey. The Color Rush jerseys check all the boxes. Modernizes the look with a simpler, cleaner style, reintroduces the classic design of the Orange Crush days, and keeps the orange and navy of the championship years. It's also pretty low risk because they already sell well and are popular with fans. I know some people want to return to the old school D logo, but the Broncos currently have one of the best brands in the NFL. Not true. Wow. It'd be throwing out the baby with the bathwater if we were to change the logo and the color scheme, but the logo is changed on the Color Rush jerseys.
It's the D.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just because the uniform styling is outdated. Take Color Rush helmet and jersey. That includes a D. Swap out the retro logo with the current one. Reverse the colors on the pants to make them white pants with navy and orange striping. Done. You're welcome, Walton Penner. You got everything right except for that logo. It's
tweak that blue.
Where you lost me, Bronco Oilers, is where you said it's a low-risk move. One of the things that Damani Leach said was you got to take risks, and sometimes they're going to hit, sometimes they're not. So,
he was talking about uniforms?
Then he transitioned right into uniforms.
Please don't
there.
take any risks with the uniforms.
Connecting 1 and 2, potentially some risks there, and said you got to be forward thinking. Again, I think this is too backward thinking for them. I think it's too connected.
Look at like Russ's Good Man brand. Simple, lovely.
Just
perfect.
All white is what you want?
Just you don't try to do anything, be like Russ. Don't try to be flashy or this, that. Just stick with the, the standard stuff.
Wearing all white's pretty flashy.
But it's simple.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
He did go with that double-breasted suit jacket that one time.
He did. Stick with simple.
Yeah, stick it to simple. I just, you got to have the D. I know we have a lot of listeners that aren't necessarily based in Denver. But for me, it's the only thing about the Broncos brand that would connect the team to Denver. The current team, you could take them and put them anywhere in the world for any team, for any city, and it wouldn't make any difference.
I'm not a big jersey or brand guy. I don't really care. But one of the things I would like is a D. Do we all agree on that?
I would love a D.
Love the D. All right. Bronco against this also forgot to add having all white away jerseys in that style, like the Bills ones, and the Niners alternates would go hard.
Like we do. Why wouldn't we just say like the Broncos right now?
Because they have like the stripes down the side instead of like the little stripes there,
Oh, I mean, yeah, I like the new, like, more simple stripes for sure. But they do have all white away uniforms.
I think it's about like having the little stripes that the Color Rush have. Like there's the 2 that go right there. The Bills and the Niners have.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I
think the Niners have 3 stripes.
I cannot speak to that.
Melbourne Bronco with a very unnecessary comment says, my boys, let's hope Zach has apologized earlier in this podcast.
Good
Unnecessary.
Job,
and while it's sad for Kendall Hinton and Malik Reed, but we have bigger fish to fry. The roster is set, and in 11 days, Russ rides. Let's effing go. Kendall Hinton's back.
He said 11, which made me sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Sheriff Pikey. Hey guys, great coverage and input on the roster. I was surprised to see Hinton released, but hey, and how could I trust? I want to announce my excitement to come up from South Texas for the home opener against the Texans.
Hey.
Since this is Wild Broncos' first home game, we went all out with the great stadium seats, the VIP tailgate game and bus tickets, and an Airbnb blocks from the bar. That is sick. This will be our first time visiting the DNVR bar, a trip I've been looking forward to since 2020. Y'all have any top food suggestions?
It's a great question, Ryan. Do we know the menu yet?
I know a couple things about the menu.
Okay, are there spoilers or no?
I'll spoil one thing, which is the thing I'm most excited about. They're called the Avalanche Nachos.
Okay.
And the way they are constructed, they're built in like this can upside down. Then when you order them, they bring the can and they flip it over onto your plate and then lift it up. And it's like the chips are the mountain and the cheese is an avalanche coming down the sides of the mountain.
And they have said they're adding extra cheese to make it a real
More
avalanche.
avalanche.
Oh, sign me up.
Yes, so that one I'm very excited
Yeah,
about.
that sounds amazing.
What about other places to get food? We always talk about
Ooh,
Uncle.
there's that Jimmy John's like a block away.
Oh my God!
Oh
Never
my.
take food advice from
0%.
Henry, or
Or
you'll be
driving
eating
advice.
Lunchables. And
Didn't realize you guys are such big Subway fans.
I would take Subway over Jimmy John's.
No.
I
That
haven't
specific
had
Jimmy John's.
either in a long time. That Jimmy
Wait,
John's
what's-
sketchy.
That specific Jimmy John's sucks.
Uh-oh.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Jimmy John's is all based on where you order it.
Huh.
Huh.
I
Yep.
thought it's just about the way the mayonnaise combines with the bread.
Nope. Like if you went to a Jimmy John's in Boulder, probably really good stuff.
Speaking of Boulder, good stuff. I went to the sink for the very first time about 10 days ago.
What were you doing in Boulder?
Classic.
We went hiking.
Yeah. Could have guessed that. Should have told me. I would have had them roll out the red carpet for
Oh,
you.
I bet you did that. What a cool place.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's an institution there, but really cool.
What'd you order?
We got sliders. We split some appetizers. So sliders was one of them.
Zach's like, we split one slider. Great.
Wait, you have to give more food recommendations.
Okay, Uncle.
My Brother's Bar.
My brother's
It's called
bar.
My Brother's Bar.
Uncle. Where else?
DNVR
Something
bar.
of course the DNVR bar. We went to Hop Alley recently. It was the second time I've been there. It's actually owned by the same people as Uncle, so it makes sense that I love it. But I've been craving it like every day ever since. The
Illegal
La ZG is what it's called on the menu, and it's like this spicy chicken. It's so spicy, and
That
I think
scares
there
me.
might be like something addictive about it because I haven't stopped thinking about it, and that was like a month ago.
With you saying
Wow.
it's so spicy, that scares me.
Oh yeah, we had to ask for it.
Big
Yeah, we
time.
got our
Spice
spice
on
on
the
the side.
sides.
Well, Allie actually asked for light spice. Then I had one bite, and I was like, "Hey, can you bring me that spice that you put on there so I can just dip my chicken in it?"
Oh no, Mr. Oso is a fun taco place.
Ooh, Sushi Den.
Yeah.
Oh,
Illegal
Sushi Den
Pete's is a
Illegal
good, quick,
Pete's.
like,
Illegal Pete's,
a
yeah.
good place
Fun
to
spot.
go.
Yep. Very fun.
Is there
A lot of fun.
Henry,
else?
got any more Rex?
Who do you think I am? Like I'm just sitting down at restaurants all over? No.
Because McDonald's would be one for him.
Yep,
Yep.
probably.
Yep.
We do have some good McDonald's.
Oh, someone in the comments said Chiba Hut. Chiba Hut is definitely
yeah.
good.
I've never had
No,
that.
no. If you're getting a
No.
sandwich, go to Snarf's.
Snarf's,
Snarf's
yes.
is good.
Snarf's is the way to go. But if there's only a Chiba Hut around, Chiba Hut is good.
But if you're around here, there is a Snarf's around.
Ooh, there's that bagel place where everybody waits for an hour.
Don't go there.
Rosenberg's.
Oh yeah, don't go there.
Well, I
It's
mean,
an average bagel for an hour wait.
I
and
don't
then
like
overpriced.
talking down on any businesses. Not like they need the extra help, but
That's true.
there's a better bagel, Leroy's.
Never heard of it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta go into the Highlands, but it's
All
fine.
right, there
Yeah.
we go. I love it.
Also, Hank nailed the mayo and bread comment. Thank you, Brandon. That's what it's all about. These are my people.
And
Well, their
Jose
bread
nailed
isn't very
this
good.
comment.
I thought they were known for their bread.
Jimmy John's?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
it's
they
that
are,
one.
but that specific one doesn't put the TLC necessary to make good bread.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'll have to take your word.
All right, Big Tony says, "My boys, yes, my dollar store cornhole boards comment was a clackback at a Twitter troll. They've been playing great for me. Beat Mark Mosier and his stepson the other day. It was a good dub. Anyways, on to more important things. I believe I'm owed a formal apology for correctly predicting that Rippon would ball out versus the Vikings and win the backup job when you all were already convinced it was Josh Johnson's. Formal apologies can only. No, I'm just kidding. We apologize.
We're gonna be doing too many formal apologies if we're giving them out for every wrong take we have.
Yeah, that's true. I can't underestimate my excitement that double Uno is now. Oh, don't even do this to me. I'm skipping that part. One more thing. I was dying yesterday when RK was talking about how a fan at training camp said Kendall Hinton was better than Jerry Jeudy, and I also heard many outlandish comments by the Facebook fans who were sitting among me on the hill. Gotta love them. No question today, Big Tony out. Speaking of our favorite people over at Facebook, yesterday we posted the Malik Reed trade graphic on Facebook, and it said Malik Reed 7th round pick, and then it has like the trade sign,
the swap.
Yep, and then it says 6th round pick. So like one thing is coming from one side, it's going to the other side. They're swapping. That's how a trade works. I swear to you, 99% of the people in the comments were saying, "How could you trade this guy for only a 7th round pick?" And I was like, "How do you not see the?"
What they think the 6th round pick was doing there? Just chilling.
I don't even think they saw it. Like they just look straight down, like Malik Reed. Then they see 7th round pick, and then they just got mad.
Yikes. Speaking of formal apologies, Big Hangstan says, I'd like to formally apologize to Bradley Chubb for suggesting that he be traded at his highest possible value. I'll be happy to see 14 sacks instead and then just tag him next year. In you all's expert opinion, do you think that the hack will keep the offense frozen in French vanilla stage in the first 2 contests as the team faces, but a few rosters full of paper tigers? Might he save his real cooking for week 3 against those Bay City jackwagons? And if so, how vile and putrid will Broncos Facebook become, calling for firings, etc.? Also, to all on the chat, get Twitter. Love, Stanislaus University.
Okay, so no, Hackett was already in his bag for preseason game number 3.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he was calling legitimate stuff out there. So I do not expect him to be vanilla. In fact, I might expect him to overshare. But this is a guy who once charted 15,000 plays or whatever it was. I think he's got enough in the bag that he can just keep bringing in new stuff every week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I expect to see everything out week 1 and week 2.
Yep. What was the other part of this?
A formal apology to Bradley Chubb, 14 sacks.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that one. I don't know.
Frozen French vanilla?
Oh, get Twitter. Someone in a comment was like, telling people to get Twitter is like telling people to get Google. Like, it's just a website. And I was like, no, it's not. I mean, it can be accessed through a website, but it's definitely known for being an app.
I got Twitter in 2009. So, I mean, I definitely got it, you know.
I think I did too. Me and Dre actually went through this the other day, and he got it before me, which was kind of surprising.
If I got it before
I got it
you,
2011.
I'd be very surprised. Wow.
Mine was January 2011.
Damn, you old.
So if we go followers per day spent on Twitter, I might actually have more than you.
I am May 2009. Yeah.
You're May 2009 as well?
No, I am not.
Oh.
I didn't use Twitter probably until 2015.
Okay. Sounds good.
I've had it. Twitter came around when I was in high school, so it was really like so many people had different accounts. So my like work Twitter has been since 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a burner account.
No, I had a regular high school account that had a lot of high school
things.
girl, a lot of anger about the Eagles, and then maybe some subtweets throughout there, some drama in our high school.
no.
Mina Kime said the Eagles might have a top 3 roster in the NFL.
Wow.
They've been, the
Making moves.
Eagles hype is crazy. Like, there's
It
other people I was
always
hearing
is. It
today
always
saying
is.
I can't remember. Oh,
Well, we know the Cowboys suck, so.
they're talking about some teams saying like, yeah, you know, they look like a Super Bowl team. When you look through like the second row of their depth chart, there's good players. It's just like the Eagles. It's like, what? That's the Eagles roster now? That's what we think?
I guess so. I mean, they were able to just like dispose of Alex Singleton, who was a big player for them last year, so they must have a lot of depth.
All comes down to Jalen.
Yep,
It does.
I believe in Jalen. Nash Bronco says, hey, guys, regarding the special teams, personally, I'm glad Stukes got his guys. I have a feeling Green Bay's special teams woes in the playoffs last year had something to do with Hackett's willingness to give up some premium spots on the 2 main units for guys who can majorly contribute in that phase. While the margin for error is not as razor thin as it's been in the past few years, being able to have that confidence in the phase of the game can only help the team, right? Yeah, someone earlier asked what position group could be the most surprising, and I was going to say this doesn't really count, but I was going to say special teams. I think the Broncos might have a really good special teams this year.
We've seen flashes of that so far.
Yep.
Just the potential for returns is what takes it over the top.
Totally.
Nobody's going to notice, like, their kick coverage sure has been good.
They're not going to have to cover any kicks.
Kick him out of the end zone.
That is true.
J-Pat, SoCal Bronco, finishes off and says, how many numbies would it take to take down 32 Janos?
Not as many as you think. Two.
Unlimited.
One high and one low. Oh, to bring down 32 Janos.
So you're saying just 64?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, 64.
I think if like the 32 Janos locked arms and just ran, they would just be able to mow down 64's numbies.
That is true.
Wow.
So if we're talking 32 at one time, quadruple? So it's 128?
So the first two lines of defense just get mowed over, and then the next two get to jump in.
And then they're kind of falling down.
I think so.
Yeah,
you just have to get them to the ground, right, to bring down.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, not like kill or anything.
Yeah.
Not trying to kill Jano.
So if you take one of the Janos out, do all the Zacs who took that Jano out get to move on to another Jano?
Yes.
If they're still around, yeah.
So maybe you wind up with like...
But how did the Zacs get eliminated? Like
That's the thing.
Whoa. They're not quitting. They may break some things. Although, gotta say, never broke anything in my life, so that may help
Let's
me.
touch
Me either.
wood when...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a whole Reddit about this. Have we talked about that on this show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No broken bones, and then if you break something, you get like
Just
humiliated
get shunned
and kicked
out
out.
of the group.
That's so good.
That's a great bit.
So are you in that?
Yeah, I am.
Henry, are you in it? Would you be in it?
I've only broken the cartilage
Nope.
of my nose.
Oh.
So I don't think...
Wait,
I don't
you
think
can
it counts.
break cartilage?
Yeah. Most broken noses are the cartilage.
Interesting.
That's what happened to Tyree Cleveland. He broke the cartilage in his throat.
Oh.
So he kind of broke his throat
Yeah.
in a way.
Jeez.
You're saying like it
Yeah.
hurt to talk for a couple days.
Which,
like, of
I think
course.
he's lucky that it was only a couple days. Remember, there was that USC guy who like dropped a bench bar on his throat and like couldn't talk
Almost
for like
died.
yeah.
Yeah, that...
Oh,
Don't touch
that
my throat.
sounds So
Also,
terrible.
then after watching the Manti Te'o thing, I started thinking about the Josh Shaw story. That was a good one. You remember that one?
No.
It was like he said he broke both of his ankles jumping out of the second-story building to like save his drowning niece out of a pool.
Oh, my God.
And everyone was like, "Wow, that's
Oh,
incredible!" And then it came out he's like running from the police.
Oh my God. Wow. Yikes.
Yeah, brutal. Anyways, he says it'd be interesting if they were able to have both backup QBs as Josh Johnson were not subject to waivers. I don't know if a team would have grabbed Josh or if two backups really matter, but I like the chess move. Thank you, DNVR, for everything you provide.
An interesting thing today, Nathaniel Hackett was talking about Josh Johnson and said, like, what were the words he said?
I think he said, I would be ecstatic if Josh Johnson got to play.
Yeah. So
That's just classic Nathaniel Hackett shit.
I know, but it's like, you understand what would have to happen for that to happen, right? You'd be ecstatic? That'd be what's going through your mind?
right.
That's so funny because he's just
He's just happy
he's
for
so
Josh.
happy for
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah.
he's just, oh man, I'd be ecstatic that guy got on the field. It's like, no, you wouldn't.
No.
Your whole week would be ruined.
Yep, exactly.
At least.
And so they did get Josh Johnson on the practice squad, and I honestly think that that's a big sigh of relief for them because I don't think that everyone... I mean, it was a close battle, so I'm sure some people wanted the veteran experience of Josh over the more inexperienced Brett, but now they get both of those guys, so I think that really alleviates any concern.
And if they ever have to play, we'll see you guys next year.
We won't be that excited.
We will not be ecstatic.
All right. Oh, last second soupy chat.
From Cody here.
So is Josie playing kick return?
It's a good question, and it took me a minute to realize why. He got injured on kick return last year, and so he was asked about that actually earlier this year, and he said, whatever the team wants me to do, I'm going to do.
Dope.
I would think not, though.
You'd have to guess.
I mean,
Not.
like,
Well,
if you got Aaron Patrick and Tyree Cleveland and all these guys, like, you're holding on to because of special teams,
Justin Strenad,
Yep.
he's one of those special teams guys.
you hope that you don't need to use your starters on special teams.
Yes.
But a lot of good teams will say, like, good teams that are good on special teams do it because they use good players on special teams.
Right. Yep.
I wonder who's out there. Because, like, Montrell can't do it. I guess you have so many tight ends. Those tight ends will pull some weight. You'll probably see Tomlinson out there. You'll see Saubert, Beck. So there's a solid group. I don't think you need Josie.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not to.
Jonas?
Not initially, though.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Because
think-
he's
exactly.
injured.
But that was one that Stooks really wanted, too.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting. We'll find out.
Who do you put on special teams if Stooks says I need one of the starting linebackers? And we're talking week 6. So Jonas's injury is
Jonas, because he's way better at special teams.
Okay. Isn't he potentially more valuable for the long term?
No.
Oh. Okay. Why?
Josie's just better linebacker.
But for the long term.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what have you done for me lately?
So you're a lot more sold on Josie as a linebacker. That's fair.
Yeah.
He's proved a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of it this way. Week 1, I find out Josie's out. I'm like, oh God, there's a chance that the Broncos get run all over. Mm-hmm. Week 1, I find out Jonas is out. I'm like, all right, they're gonna have to next man up this.
Fair. Very fair.
So there you go.
By week 6, we might be hyped on Jonas though.
It's possible.
Wouldn't be shocked.
Yep.
Also, arm brace Jonas. It's a scary thing to see.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
It looks
I saw
good.
it on the sideline
Great.
in the last game. I was like, wow, that makes him more scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that wraps it up for us. Hit us with a thumbs up. Keep those iTunes reviews coming. We appreciate those. We've had a ton of views lately, so you guys are killing it on the algorithm. Leave your comments, thumbs up, all that stuff. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on the DNVR Broncos podcast.